your 24/7 sports wagering network. Fantasy Sports Today.
Can he be a guy that's really useful in your fantasy rotation? I think the answer is yes.
Game time decisions.
I'm going to lose the bet because he's injured again.
Betting above the rim.
He's got a broke J. That's all there is to it. He's got no confidence in that jump shot.
My thing you've always heard me say on the network is you're either winning or you're rebuilding.
In-game live all access.
Wondering when that was going to happen, and the answer is it just
Sometimes
did.
the bigger guy will have the advantage. Well, if the little guy can move, Joe, it's hard to hit the little guy sometimes when you're a big boy, right?
In-game live, prime time.
40-1, I'm going to take a little flyer on Justin Rose.
In-game live, overtime.
As you sit here and listen, watch right now, you may want to consider placing that bet.
It's smarter to be on SportsGrid.
Do you believe Diggs will come up big with Stroud or be the disappointment that he was with Allen in the last, year?
It's not all on Diggs as it was with the Bills. So he only needs to be a secondary piece. Remember now, he's in his 30s, Ferrall. He's in the back nine of his career. They don't need him to be super. They just need him to do a good job.
Ferrall coast to coast, only on SportsGrid.
Crochet's on the mound, I get it, Joe. But my goodness, 220 on Chicago. Many people consider it still to be the worst team in Major League Baseball. What gives here today?
We could see something out of him in this one. I am not doing that. I would take the Colorado Rockies straight up on that money line out of principle in this one.
Game time decisions, only on Sport.
Ferrall taking over. Let's go. It's Ferrall. Coast to coast. Steaks, chicks, stacks. You and I are going to make a lot of money. It's Ferrall, coast to coast. It's pain-free Friday for all stolen out minutes on a mahogany, waxing it up, 100, 200, the pads, hate a broken, hate a bad, up with a bad attitude. We are live in New York City. Big Apple. Ooh. People dressed in plastic bags, directed traffic, some kind of fashion shake-it-up, shadoobie, along with the Open Championship guru himself, Carver High. Frank the Tank running it today with Jake the Snake on this filthy Friday. We got a lineup for you, a double shot with the Rager Morency in this hour from Vancouver. Plus, later in the hour, your boy Gino Bucola from the Daily Racing Form. And Gino is going out of bounds. He's got all kinds of horseplays and more from what Carver High is telling me later in the second hour. How about your boy Stewie? Keith Stewart talking open, talking troon with Carver High like you read about. And in the final hour, our NFL insider Adam Kaplan from Philadelphia, all today on C2C. I want to start out with this, Carver High, the fact that I suck at picking golf. I picked 4 guys, and all 4 are going home together on the same flight to save money and gas. They'll be flying on Rory's jet back to the States, to Jupiter and other parts unknown. All 4 of my guys. Let's go through the litany. Rory, Finau, Tony today needing a shrink as he went from like 1 under to 11 over. He needs a shrink. Terrell Hatton is on the cusp of death. He's a stroke off the cut right now with like 2 holes to go. But people have been birdieing 18. He has no chance to win, so screw him too. And my other one, Oberg, the sensational Oberg, who is also packing his bags. I think he's taking a train home, though. He lives in Sweden or something. Anyway,
Yeah.
All of my picks suck, Carver High. This is why you do not only all the golf plays, but all the golf interviews. I love golf, but I suck at betting golf.
Well, look, unfortunately, most of your guys that you picked were in that wave that I talked about, AM yesterday, PM today, which ended up being absolute misery if you ended up in that area, because those guys, the scores are so drastic between the guys that went AM, PM, or opposed to PM, AM, which is where all the leaders are. Lowry, Brown, Horschel, Burmeister, all those guys went in the opposite way. Scheffler as well played in that wave. So we have ourselves the Open Championship heading to the weekend with the Irish Bear, who's going to be on top, 7 under. Beautiful round of 69 from him earlier this morning. This Daniel Brown ended up hanging around for a second day, shot one over, but still 5 under, and is going to play tomorrow in one of the last couple groups with a chance on the weekend at the Open. And how about, another really big story, Justin Rose at 5 under, shot an unbelievable 68 today, including a bomb birdie that he made on 18 to get to the 60, to get to 5 under. Billy Horschel in the mix. But look, I'm sitting fat with the Bear. We know that. We got Irish Bear tickets here. We've got the outright for him. We've got top 5s, top 10s. That's all. We got everything. But you know who's lurking, Scotty, and that's a dangerous thing. And I know he's 5 shots back, but he kind of just plodded along today and did his thing, and he's going to sit there with a chance for the weekend, and that's Scheffler, who's 2 under after the 70 today. So as many big names as we have washed away here in this just absolute carnage between yesterday morning and this afternoon, Scotty Scheffler looms, and that's going to be, I think, the Bears' biggest problem as he tries to grab his second claret jug, Scotty.
And what about Xander? He's in it. Day and Cantley both went 3 under today. They're in it with him. And then, long but not forgotten is Rahm and Brooks. They're at +1. That's not the end of the world if they make a big push Saturday. It's going to rain.
Look, it's not the end of the world, and I really do think, +1's tough. I mean, you're talking 8 shots. One of those, you'd have to really have one of those 2 rounds Saturday or Sunday be very low, 65, 64. You'd have to really boost yourself in and hope that Lowry comes back to the pack a little bit. But I think the guys at -1, like Schauffele and Cantlay and Day and Connors, they're a really good round away. Lowry might not shoot 69 again tomorrow. He might not shoot 67 again tomorrow. That it could be very tough out there.
Yes,
from your lips to God's ears, that he does. He had one. Amazingly, he shot that today, and he had a double bogey on 11, which was an absolute disaster.
Is that the one with the camera guy?
The camera guy. He yelled at the camera guy. He got in his way. He hit it across the fairway. He thought the ball was gone. It wasn't. Some fan found the ball and really cost him a shot, because he was like, that ball's gone. I'm going to hit my provisional, which he put right on the green, and he would have had a nice close putt for bogey. Some fan goes, I found it, and Lowry had to go hit it out of the nonsense over there on the left, so he ends up double bogeying the hole. But he's still got a 2-shot lead going into the weekend. Lots of guys in the mix. Morikawa hung around today. Rahm hung around today. He hit some really good shots. Man, even Tagala's 14 over. This is just brutal with these guys coming in right. And they're all shaking their head, too. Every guy that's coming in on 18 right now, shaking their head. I give respect to, guys like Rahm today. Rahm was in this wave of misery, and he shot a good round. You know who else did was Joaquin Niemann, who had an 8 on the par 3, the 8th hole. He had an 8, a +5, and he had 5 birdies on the back to get himself back to even, and now even and tied for 11. So a couple of good rounds. Joaquin Phoenix Neiman.
What about
so we will have
Wang Chung in there at +2. I didn't know he was involved.
Well, guess what? So I wanted to have a little gas here for Coast to Coast when we started. So right before we got in, I saw that Wang still had, where is he right now? I'm sorry, not Wang. MK Kim who's
Yeah.
on the 13th hole right now, and he's +1. I put in a play for him at +360 to finish in the top 10 at the end of round 2. So I am now going to watch MK Kim try to get a couple of shots here and get him in the top 10
Who's the guy?
+360.
He's not doing well, but the guy M that has been so good
M,
lately that you talked about.
Yeah. M is just going to – Sanjay M is just going to slide in. He's
So
6
is
over.
he the guy with the caddy that was a player that became a heroin addict or whatever it is?
I don't know that story with the caddy with the heroin addict. That one I don't know. I would have to look that one up.
The caddy used to be on tour, and he's I don't remember all the details of his name and everything. I'd have to. I can find it. Trust me. I read about it today in the paper about this guy. He used to play on tour. He played on the Korn Ferry. Played on the PGA Tour. Played for a while, like, I don't know, somewhere around, like, let's say 04 to 015, something like that. And he said he made a putt one day for $500,000, and he said 2 hours later he was in a heroin den with junkies, and your boy had it all going, and then he came back from the dead, he got clean, and now he's M's caddy. Yeah,
wow.
He's the caddy now, and your boy can go low. He can go
How about that?
He can really hit it. He's a player. I'll look it up. Trust me, I'm not making this stuff up. I mean, it was a hell of a read, I gotta be honest with you.
The WNBA is a unique market, right? It moves a little bit different. You take a bet, a limit play, even if the limit is 2 dimes on the side, you don't go from 11.5 to 12. You know what I mean? You got to go. Because if they bet you the second number, then you go, oh boy, now we have a decision that we really didn't think we got a big decision. Books love decisions.
Game time decisions. Only on SportsGrid.
Watch out for USA and Canada in 4 years. Like cricket's going to be a sport that's growing.
I made my first cricket bet last week or over the weekend. I was getting a team that was leading like 150 to 5 plus odds. I'm like, I'm up 150 points and I'm getting plus odds. Where do I sign? I love this cricket stuff. What are you kidding me?
In-game live, prime time, only on SportsGrid.
DeMar DeRozan now joins that team in Sacramento with the Kings. De'Aaron Fox, Domantas Sabonis, Devin Carter, who they drafted early, Keegan Murray as well. A Kings team, DRS, that has been a playoff contender.
Is it going to equate to a championship? Probably not. That's not the goal. Make your team better every offseason. The Kings definitely got better with that move here, Ben.
The early line, only on SportsGrid.
BetMGM is swinging for the fences. The best place to bet the long ball all season long. Out-of-the-park odds on home runs. Exclusive signature bets. And a weekly shot at your share of $50K in bonus bets. Enter the $50K Grand Slam jackpot. It's on.
So the guy's name was Will Wilcox. He was on the PGA Tour. He was on the Korn Ferry Tour, Canadian Tour, Hooters Tour, won 4 times. He was pro, I think, from 09 until like 15. Junked out, was shooting heroin, eating Oxycontins like Pez. My man said he hit a $500,000 putt and went to a heroin den for 3 days. An hour later, he said he was shooting up and doing interviews. He said he'd shoot up in his car and then he'd go do an interview on TV. He said no one knew I was high. He goes, I was great at it. I was like, what is happening?
Yeah, if you're high all the time, that actually happened to me in high school, Scott, when I was younger. And, like everybody went to lunch and we all came back into the class and the teacher like flipped out. This lady flipped. She's like, I'm sick and tired of all of you. And she started pointing. She goes, I know you're stoned. You're stoned. You're stoned. She starts pointing everyone out. She goes, go to the principal's office. And then she gets to me and she looks. She goes, I can't tell with you. You've looked stoned since the first day you've been here. She was, I don't know with you. I was just sitting there grinning at her. But see, that's the strategy, Scott. If you're always just sort of a little bit, you know what I mean? People can't really tell. But all kidding aside, I'm telling you, man, these caddies, Scott, this is like they party harder than the Vans Warped Tour guys do backstage. I'm dead serious.
Oh,
like people don't like you think, oh, golf. Number one, golf. I'd like to do a movie, Scott. I'd love to see the dark side of the PGA Tour. You know what I mean? Remember who was the guy? Was it Darren Clark? Said I got robbed in Hawaii. And witnesses said he didn't get robbed in Hawaii. He came out of the bar, fell face first onto the sidewalk, and then someone took his wallet when he was passed out. But he didn't get robbed and knocked out. He knocked himself out.
I always liked him.
I don't know if it was him. I think it was him, though. I mean, it's off the top of my head. Carver would know. He's a big golf guy.
Boy.
Who was the guy that fell face first in Hawaii, claimed he got mugged, but they were like, no, he mugged himself. He passed out. Yeah, somebody took his wallet after. But
it was hard enough. It was hard enough finding the heroin guy's name, let alone I got to go look for the guy that fell face planted and blacked out. It's Morency. Catch him weeknights at 10, Sports Rage style, on all of our TV outlets, OTTs, streaming networks, TV stations, on satellite radio, Sirius XM channel 159, on radio, terrestrial side, on Sports Byline USA, and of course, Mightier 1090 ESPN Radio in San Diego near Tijuana. Do you wanna? All right. Why don't we start with this today? The second half of baseball starts in earnest. It already started today with a little day ball at Wrigley between the Diamondbacks and Cubs, and the D-backs up 3-0 in the fourth on the north side of Chicago. Are you excited about your Dodgers in the second half? I know I'm excited about my Pirates 500 turning the corner.
I'll tell you what, the wild card picture is very interesting. There are numerous teams that are still in this thing. Looking at the American League, the Kansas City Royals are 2 games out right now of a playoff spot. The Houston Astros are suddenly back in business. And don't look now, guys, but the Tampa Bay Rays started to win some games going into the All-Star break. We all sort of forgot about them. You know, Scott, in the big picture, I think we're on a collision course here. You've got the Philadelphia Phillies. You've got the Los Angeles Dodgers. And in the American League, you know, the Yankees and the Orioles battle. One thing, Scott, and, you know, you guys you talk a lot of Yankee baseball. The division is basically a pick'em right now between Baltimore and New York. And I know New York, the numbers should sort of even out after how bad they were going into this break right now. But Baltimore are a better baseball team than the New York Yankees are. And they're also less fragile than the New York Yankees are. Yeah. And it sounds crazy to say, I think they'll be more aggressive than the New York Yankees will be. Steinbrenner's tapped out, bro. He doesn't want to spend more money. So I don't expect the Yankees to really do anything. You know, maybe a little move here, a little move there. Meanwhile, Baltimore have new ownership right now. They understand that, you know what, if we're going to do this, we need a couple of more players. So I'm just saying, Scott, if you ask me as a pick'em here, who's going to win a division, I got to say the Baltimore Orioles will win that division. So I'm going to take the Orioles to win the American League East.
Yeah, I'm not I'm on the same page. I'm not opposed to that. Carver High and I both think the Orioles are going to win the East, but stranger things have happened. I mean, the Yankees played terrible. Who's to say, they started great and played great and then played terribly. Who's to say they can't play great again? And maybe they'll have another stink 3 weeks. Who knows? But the bottom line is, I agree with you about everything about the Orioles. They're younger. They don't get injured as much. They're, I think craving a title in Baltimore, trying to find a way when you're this close. I would agree with you. It'll be interesting to see when Betts comes back, how good the Dodgers will be. And the Phillies are legit. And I can't wait to see that Boston series with the Dodgers starting tonight at
Too bad Betts not there. Against Boston, it really would have been special.
Yeah.
I was there last year when the Yankees went to a Chavez Ravine. I was actually going to go this year to the Boston series. But no Betts. Dude, the Dodgers have 10 starters, Scott. 10 guys. I should say starters, players, pitchers, whatever. 10 players, Scott, that were on the roster to start the year are not right now. Think about that. It's only 25 guys. They've lost 10 of their players. It's insanity. And it's all just about buying time. People get mad about this stuff. I'll be honest with you, Scott. Let's get to the playoffs, bro. We know the Phillies and Dodgers are playing each other in the playoffs. Let's rock. Everyone else, Kansas City's competing for a wild card. Pittsburgh will be disappointing because I think ownership group will not go all in either.
Of course they won't spend it.
No.
Anyone that's been to a sporting event, the atmosphere before a game, I think Game Time Decisions has that same exact atmosphere. This is our arena. This is what we do. There is going to be an energy to Game Time Decisions that you will feel night in and night out. The excitement you get when you lock your bets in, when you're figuring out what you want to do, we can zone in on the biggest games each night. I want this to be the place that people come to before the games start so they feel as ready as possible to lock in their cards. We are going to hit every single one of those markets that you need to know about. We're going to go through every single thing, and I've got a great team behind me that's going to help me get the job done. There is not going to be a better place, I promise you, than Game Time Decisions to get that new information, react to it, and be able to then bet accordingly. We will have everything at our disposal, and we will use that to our advantage. I'm Kevin Walsh. Tune into Game Time Decisions from 6 to 8 p.m. Eastern on SportsGrid.
Will they both make it? Yes. But it has more to do with the fact of the three teams that are not really good at all in Dallas, Washington, and the Sparks, and an Atlanta Dream Team without Ryan Howard that's spiraling out of control. If they can get those two teams, Indiana and Chicago, that's going to be a major boom for ratings.
Betting above the rim, only on SportsGrid.
It is Canada. Canada is one of those teams that's the darling of the tournament right now. They're still 9-1.
To win a tournament, or even to advance far into a tournament like this, you need a bit of good fortune. And it doesn't matter if you're getting the good fortune that Canada has, where they played 2 matches where they were up a man, or you had the good fortune of Argentina, who's one of the best teams in the world, who just got on the good side of the draw.
Newswire, only on SportsGrid.
So it was Robert Allenby that allegedly face-planted in the parking lot of the Hawaiian hotel bar.
Yeah, not Darren Clark. Poor Darren Clark.
The story was way better with Darren Clark, though, because, remember when he used to, golf and smoke heaters right on the he'd literally have one hanging from his lip while he was putting. I mean, my man had it all going, like this
So,
guy
Scott,
Brown.
So these golfers, I'm telling you, man, these golfers are nuts. People think, I was in the music business for a long time, guys. Not just playing in a band, but I worked for a production company so I did big shows. I'm sitting backstage I didn't do the arena stuff. I did like the 3,000 to 5,000 venue seaters bands. So, you know what I mean? From, I can go on and on and on. Hundreds of bands, Scott. And one thing I caught on to and I realized, the more poppier, the more wuss bag pop, soft type of artist that people would think, oh, what a cream puff this kid is. He's the kid crushing lines of blow backstage, all right? And the big tough heavy metal bands with crosses, upside down crosses tattooed on their forehead are the ones calling their wives. Oh, I love you, honey. I miss you. How are the kids doing? Oh, no. And they're eating yogurt and stuff. All right, like they're eating yogurt, they're working out backstage, and then the pop bands come in. Dude, one of the biggest bands I ever saw. I didn't even like them. I was like, oh man, this is gonna be a disaster. I got to work with the band Train. The Drops of Jupiter. Nah.
I know that guy.
Yeah, so it was like nights of it, Scott. And I'm sitting there.
Howard
Sometimes
was friends with that guy.
Sometimes I would tune the music out. Sometimes it'd be a band. I'm like, I just wouldn't hear it. I just sort of pretend I'm not there and I'd be standing there. But so with Train, they come in and the first thing I see the drummer over there chopping a little thing in the back. I see someone else like placing a bet. Another guy's like yelling at a girl. I swear to Africa, I don't need you. I don't need anybody. I was like, man, these guys are out of control. And then, the guy died the other day. One of the guys in the band. Like, same thing. Collective Soul. Soul. You'd think, oh, yeah, Collective Soul, all right, just sort of an average rock band type guys. Come in, man. These guys were like throwing up in the studio and stuff. They're like, I did too much drugs last night, guy. And then you go to a heavy metal show and they're all soft. I'm telling you, but this is the best golfer story. People think Ernie Els. His nickname's the Big Easy. And I'm not making it up. You guys look it up. Here it is, golf.com, like the golf circles. Here it is. So Steve Marino is playing in Europe. And he's warming up. He's just minding his own business, warming up before the tournament. Ernie Els comes up to him. And he's never met Ernie Els before, okay? They don't all know each other on the tour. They're not all buddies. So he's never met Ernie Els. And he's like, wow, Ernie Els is talking to me. So Ernie Els comes over and he goes, hey, I'm Ernie. How you doing, man? He goes, yeah, I like your game, Steve. And he goes, how did you get here? And Steve goes, I flew commercial. You know what I mean? Like they got to travel on their own. Ernie goes, listen, I know you live in Florida. I got a private jet. You can fly back for free on my private jet with me. No problem. I could use the company. Marino's like, wow, what a nice guy. This is going to be great. They get on the plane. They start having a couple of drinks. Out of nowhere, Ernie Els just smokes him in the face. Bam! Punches him. And then stands up and goes, all right, let's go. The pilots and the people on the plane come out and go, Ernie, not again. No. I guess it's a thing with Ernie. Like he likes to fight with his friends. Have a couple of drinks and, hey, let's go, and everything will be all right after. He basically assaulted Steve Marino on a plane.
What in God's name? What is happening here?
On a plane. Here it is, like the famous Ernie Els Steve Marino airplane fight, golf.com. Here it is, YouTube. Steve Marino talks his insane trip on Ernie Els' private jet. Steve Marino on his infamous fight brawl with Ernie Els. Like I said, you guys can look it up and get the whole story from him. It's all over the internet. But people don't realize this PGA Tour, bro, these guys are nuts.
Do you think
they're all like boring golfers? They're all nut jobs.
Do you think that Lamar Jackson will punch Troy Aikman in the face over trying to
I didn't have this in my bingo
8?
card. Troy Aikman and Lamar Jackson are in court fighting over the number 8? How do you own a number, Scott? How do you know? Seriously, this is like Kylie Kardashian or Jenner, whatever the hell her name is, trying to trademark the name Kylie. You're not the first Kylie. Kylie Minogue. She's pretty popular.
She's kind of hot.
Trademark the number 8. What the hell are we doing here?
Yeah, you can't trademark a number. I got to see that one.
Hey, Lamar, how about you win a Super Bowl instead of worrying about your trademark? Say it.
Yeah. Well, he got the MVP at least. I heard he lost some weight in the offseason. All right, Morency, have a good show tonight. 10 o'clock, Sports Rage like no other. Have a great weekend, buddy.
Thanks, Scott.
anyone that's been to a sporting event, the atmosphere before a game, I think Game Time Decisions has that same exact atmosphere. This is our arena. This is what we do. There is going to be an energy to Game Time Decisions that you will feel night in and night out. The excitement you get when you lock your bets in, when you're figuring out what you want to do, we can zone in on the biggest games each night. I want this to be the place that people come to before the games start so they feel as ready as possible to lock in their cards. We are going to hit every single one of those markets that you need to know about. We're going to go through every single thing, and I've got a great team behind me that's going to help me get the job done. There is not going to be a better place, I promise you, than Game Time Decisions to get that new information, react to it, and be able to then bet accordingly. We will have everything at our disposal, and we will use that to our advantage. I'm Kevin Walsh. Tune into Game Time Decisions from 6 to 8 p.m. Eastern on SportsGrid.
Will they both make it? Yes. But it has more to do with the fact of the three teams that are not really good at all in Dallas, Washington, and the Sparks, and an Atlanta Dream Team without Ryan Howard that's spiraling out of control. If they can get those two teams, Indiana and Chicago, that's going to be a major boom for ratings.
Betting above the rim, only on SportsGrid.
It is Canada. You know, Canada is one of those teams that's the darling of the tournament right now. They're still 9-1.
To win a tournament, or even to advance far into a tournament like this, you need a bit of good fortune. And it doesn't matter if you're getting the good fortune that Canada has, where they played two matches where they were up a man, or you had the good fortune of Argentina, who's one of the best teams in the world, who just got on the good side of the draw.
Newswire, only on SportsGrid.
So, Carver High, we get back into it with Summer League action from last night. And I wanted to say, and I know you're going to bring it up, is no better time than now to eat the crow sandwich with mayonnaise on it and jalapenos because back-to-back games, Bronny with 12 and 13. He had 25 points in 2 nights and a bunch of rebounds and dimes. And it looks like they might actually turn this guy into a basketball player if he gets the right amount of burn in the South Bay with the Lakers in the G League. He is showing signs of talent all of a sudden, late stages of the Summer League, after I have crucified him and said that he sucks and shouldn't be in the NBA and isn't a pro talent. He obviously has shown that he can play. He played the last 2 nights. They won, and he played well.
First of all, I'm very surprised that he played both games. I thought on the second night of a back-to-back like last week that they would put him in the cupboard and that would be it. You wouldn't see him. I'll say this. I think that we probably all got a little too hard on him with the first few games. And I also don't think we should take anything too high off of the last 2 nights. I don't think, because we've mentioned this a few times, like 95% of the guys out there aren't NBA players. They're just not in this summer league. So it probably was a little too much on him when he had the 0s and the 2s and he wasn't doing anything. And scoring 12 and 13, all right, that's good, but I'm not going to get too crazy about it, Scotty. I think it still comes down to, as you said, he's a G League player this season, at least, minimum. I think the whole year. I'm sure they're going to do some kind of dog and pony show where he plays a game with LeBron to say that they did it, and then they'll go and move him down. But I think that the kid needs time to go try to become a pro on his own, away from all the nonsense down at that G League, and just work on his game.
There's no doubt. You know what I mean? We've said from the beginning he should, frankly, I think still be in college, playing college basketball in the Big Ten or at Duquesne in the A-10. But he's in the NBA now, and he signed a fat deal, and he's going to play in the G League. That's what everyone's saying. So I'm sure that J.J. Redick and Rob Pelinka were licking their chops last night and the night before, that they looked good. And Connect has looked good every night, basically. Even when they were losing, he was scoring. So I think Connect will be on the big club.
He most likely should. That's for sure. He has been excellent so far in the Summer League. The Grizz beat the Pelicans. The bad news for the Grizz is, and I think this is the second or third time we've done this in the Summer League, is Zach Edey leaving the game with the ankle injury. I'm actually kind of surprised because, like, you saw what Castle did with what San Antonio did with Castle, and what we've seen in the past. Remember last year when Wembanyama played like one game and he somebody bumped into his hand and they said, "Oh, he's not playing anymore. That's it." I'm kind of surprised that after a couple injuries they kept running Edey out there. I get it; they want to get him burned, but I don't think you'll definitely see him anymore. I mean, they probably only have one game left anyway, but that's unfortunate that he just keeps coming up with these ankle injuries here the last 2 weeks during the Summer League.
Yeah, well, what's weird for me is that he really never, let's face facts, got injured at Purdue. He played every game, and he played 40 minutes a game, and he never came out of any NCAA tournament games. The guy was like an iron horse for the Boilermakers, and here he is in Summer League. He's gone down at least twice, and I'm concerned because, the theory around here is we don't like to talk about knees, ankles, or Achilles. I just don't like those topics, especially being a basketball player myself, right? Like, so a month ago, I hurt my knee. I hyperextended it. I sprained it. I thought I tore my meniscus. I felt a pop, a bad one, when I landed. And I literally went through like a bad 5-day stretch of like compression on it and massage on it and all kinds of stuff on it. And I know that, I'm just saying from my experience, I'm one away from being finished. I mean, I'm 59 years old here in a couple weeks. You're going to get older in a couple weeks, and I can't afford a knee injury or an ankle or an Achilles. I'd be done. If I had an ACL and was out a year, I would never come back and play. My other buddy's my age, and he came back after an ACL after a year, and he's playing again. And I don't think I want to do that, to be honest with you, because it's what's next? You're going to tear the other one? It takes a year. And if it's a meniscus, it's like, 8 weeks at least of getting it scoped. So I'm worried about Edey. Once you roll it once, the ankle keeps rolling. It comes back to haunt you. It's like the never-ending injury. I guarantee you, I don't believe for 1 minute Messi's playing in 2 games down in Miami. His ankle was the size of a football at that Copa final. And all I know is ankles don't heal in 2 days. They don't heal in 2 games. And I think Edey's going to have problems with that ankle this year. And I think that'll bum me out.
Well, I think the good thing is that hopefully, you're still 2.5 months away from serious training camp, right? And as much as we talk about these guys ball a lot during the off season, when you've had this now the past 2.5 weeks, if I was them, I would tell Edey, no ball for a month, 6 weeks,
I
2
forgot
months.
that they stopped playing for a month or two because they play for 8-9 months a year.
Yeah. I would tell him no ball. Just no ball for a month, month and a half. Just not let's just cool it for a little bit. We want to have you 100% when we get around to camp because the guy's already shown he's going to be a part of the solution, right? I mean, I think he looks like he's going to be part of the solution there.
He can play
in Memphis. Nets beat the Magic 102-100 in overtime. Did you see the Jalen Wilson overtime winner for the Nets? Nice job by him, Jalen Wilson, getting himself a winning bucket. Clippers beat the Jazz 105-88. T-Wolves beat the Rockets 93-83. Reed Shepherd had another good game as he had 20 for the Rockets. So going into tonight's games, he's had 20 every night. He's been excellent so far. Going into tonight's games, there's 5 teams that are undefeated in the Summer League, and there's only 4 slots in the semifinals on Sunday. So there's 4 teams that make the semis. Obviously, then the 2 winners will play in the championship on Monday night. So they go to, if it's still all of them are undefeated, which is possible because none of them are playing each other tonight, it goes by point differential. Is how they'll break the tie. The Clippers and Memphis are already 4-0. Golden State, San Antonio, and Miami are the other 3-0 teams. All of them play this evening, and we'll see how they do if they could stay in the mix here. Let me start the Summer League games with you, and then I'll finish them after the break. Milwaukee and Phoenix is the first one you're going to get. It's coming up in about 20 minutes. Phoenix -3, Celtics -5.5 against Dallas. That also is going to start a little bit after that.
Well, I'm on, I guess, the Suns, and then I'm on the Celtics over the Mavs. So the Mavericks have looked terrible. The Bucks have looked terrible. So I'll go the other way on both of those games.
Yeah, the Bucks have been miserable. They are 0-3 so far in the Summer League. Let me give you the next three. Hawks and the Bulls are going to play. That's at 6 o'clock East. -1.5 for the Bulls. Pistons -2.5 against the Knicks. And the Spurs, who are one of those undefeated teams with a chance for the semis, are -1.5 against the Sixers.
I like the Bulls, and the Pistons have been better than the Knicks, but I'll take the Knicks after they got the Kolek win the other day, and I'm on the Spurs, who are undefeated.
Spurs, who are undefeated, chance maybe to play on Sunday in those semis. All right, I'll come back. I'll give you the other 3 games late night at the Summer League. I'll let you know, of course, the plan for USA this weekend. They have another exhibition. And the WNBA All-Star Weekend is in Phoenix, Scotty, tonight and tomorrow. Very exciting.
Very exciting.
Anyone that's been to a sporting event, the atmosphere before a game, I think Game Time Decisions has that same exact atmosphere. This is our arena. This is what we do. There is going to be an energy to Game Time Decisions that you will feel night in and night out. The excitement you get when you lock your bets in, when you're figuring out what you want to do, we can zone in on the biggest games each night. I want this to be the place that people come to before the games start so they feel as ready as possible to lock in their cards. We are going to hit every single one of those markets that you need to know about. We're going to go through every single thing, and I've got a great team behind me that's going to help me get the job done. There is not going to be a better place, I promise you, than Game Time Decisions to get that new information, react to it, and be able to then bet accordingly. We will have everything at our disposal, and we will use that to our advantage. I'm Kevin Walsh. Tune into Game Time Decisions from 6 to 8 p.m. Eastern on SportsGrid.
Will they both make it? Yes. But it has more to do with the fact of the 3 teams that are not really good at all in Dallas, Washington, and the Sparks, and an Atlanta Dream Team without Ryan Howard that's spiraling out of control. If they can get those 2 teams, Indiana and Chicago, that's going to be a major boom for ratings.
Betting above the rim, only on SportsGrid.
It is Canada. You know, Canada is one of those teams that's the darling of the tournament right now. They're still 9-1.
To win a tournament, or even to advance far into a tournament like this, you need a bit of good fortune. And it doesn't matter if you're getting the good fortune that Canada has, where they played 2 matches where they were up a man, or you had the good fortune of Argentina, who's one of the best teams in the world, who just got on the good side of the draw.
Newswire, only on SportsGrid.
All right, BetMGM's first bet offer, $1,500, is absolutely styling. Everybody needs to get in on this. How do you do it? 4 easy steps. Download the BetMGM Sportsbook app on iOS or Android, or visit BetMGM.com. That's 1. 2, sign up. Deposit at least $10 in your new account. 3, place your first wager and receive up to $1,500 back in bonus bets if the bet loses. You heard me. And 4, If the bet loses, your bonus bets will be available once your initial wager is settled. This thing is just absolutely beautiful. Everyone that does it is like, oh my God, it's like a free $1,500 bet. You got that right, Romeo. The first bet, $1,500 in bonus bets back to you at BetMGM. And you're going to be loving life with your new BetMGM Sportsbook mobile app. All right, Carver High, we continue on with the late West Vegas games that tip tonight in the Summer League.
Yes, these are, of course, the last 3 games of the regular schedule for the Summer League. Late night, 9 o'clock East, the Raptors and the Heat. The Heat are one of those 5 teams with a chance for the semis, and they are laying 4 right there against the Raptors. The Warriors are the other one at 3-0. They're taking on the 0-3 Thunder, laying 7.5. And then at 11 o'clock East, Trailblazers and Hornets, late night action out in Vegas.
Okay, I'll go chalk on the first 2, and I'll go Klingon and the Blazers against Charlotte, grabbing the 2 in the final game.
Wow, so you've got all of the undefeated teams staying undefeated.
Yes.
And they'll have to draw straws to see who gets to play in the semis on Sunday. No, they'll do point differential at that point if it actually gets this far, which I believe San Antonio right now would be the team out on that, Scotty, with the point differential. So they're going to need to – that's why you lay it with San Antonio tonight more than the other 2, because they're going to need to try and win by a heavy amount. They got to win by a lot in order to give themselves a chance.
I like that.
We did have a trade in the NBA tonight as the Nets continue to try to fail for flag. They have decided to get Zaire Williams from Memphis, of course, a former lottery pick, 10th overall back in 21 from the Grizzlies. There was like a whole other bunch of nonsense involved in this trade, second-round picks, guys who have flamed out. The main thing is Williams, who's been bad for Memphis, is going to Brooklyn got him so that hopefully he'll help them stay bad, Scotty. That's why they traded for Williams.
He was, and I knew this, right? He was one of the kids that played with Bronny at Sierra Canyon, and he was actually the best of the lot. And he went to Stanford, and he was a lottery pick, like you said, and then no one's heard of him since. And now he's going to play in no sleep till with the Nets, who Carver High has made abundantly clear will win 9 games the whole season.
Under 19.5, go to the window right
my
now.
Guy,
I just don't.
Listen, my guy I play ball with, Fordham, he played at Fordham. My man, his wife is like a big shot suit at the Nets. And he goes he goes all the time to Nets games. He's like, suites, courtside seats, whatever he wants. And I'm like, looking forward to the Nets season coming up. They're going to win 9 games. What could be worse? Remember I went there one night when I was working with you at CBS? I told you never again. I took like 3 trains. I had to park down by CBS, took 3 trains. I was running for my life with my family, like thinking we were going to get murdered downtown in the Bowery. That place is hell. I don't want anything to do with it. You can have it. You can have Brooklyn. Go ahead.
That place is hell. There's no doubt about that. The WNBA will begin a very long break after this weekend. Of course, they've crammed a lot of these games in the last couple months because they're taking a month off for the Olympics with the women's U.S. team heading over there. Their first tune-up will come tomorrow night in Phoenix against the WNBA All-Stars. Now, as I was saying to you yesterday, basically the entire U.S. team, 95% of them would have been on this All-Star team. So think what you're getting here with the All-Stars. Caitlin Clark, of course, is on that, along with Angel Reese and several others. Of course, the U.S. national team, it's 5.5 is the number. They have Ionescu, Stewart, Kelsey Plum, Wilson, all the good, who else is there? Taurasi. They've got the loaded team. Well, let me ask you this. They're a loaded team. Why is it 5.5? Why is it 5.5 if they're a loaded team? Shouldn't it be more? Shouldn't it be 8, 9, 10?
I'm not going to argue with it, but I'm going to lay it. I'm not going to argue with it. It should be double figures, but I'm laying it because if they're so incredible and they're going to blow everyone out, which is what I've heard, then they should beat this team of rookies that they've thrown together as an alleged all-star team. You're talking about the best players in the world in the W that are veterans that have played at the highest level. That's the Team USA, and the WNBA All-Star is a bunch of rookies.
There's a few on here that are not rookies. I mean, look, there's some good players, but obviously there's a differential here. All the girls on the All-Star team wanted to be on the Olympic team. That's the cream
Are you
of the
watching
crop.
the game? Are you
There's
going
no
to watch the game?
There is 0.0 chance that I'll be in on that tomorrow night. 0.0. So you don't have to worry about me. USA will be in London tomorrow afternoon. They're already in London to face South Sudan in that game. And I saw that Kevin Durant back at practice today, Scotty. So he's going to start getting some burn, I guess, for USA ahead of Paris.
They're going to put a beating on Sudan like no one's business tomorrow in London. No doubt. No matter what the line is, lay it.
Yeah, and that is, I looked. I guess they put it out in the morning for these exhibition games. So they don't have them out yet. But Thon Maker's on Sudan. That's right. They are going to get smashed in this game. And they play them in the group stage, too. So they're going to get a little tune-up, and then they'll play.
You're not even going to try tomorrow. We'll try in Paris.
Anyone that's been to a sporting event, the atmosphere before a game, I think Game Time Decisions has that same exact atmosphere. This is our arena. This is what we do. There is going to be an energy to Game Time Decisions that you will feel night in and night out. The excitement you get when you lock your bets in, when you're figuring out what you want to do, we can zone in on the biggest games each night. I want this to be the place that people come to before the games start so they feel as ready as possible to lock in their cards. We are going to hit every single one of those markets that you need to know about. We're going to go through every single thing, and I've got a great team behind me that's going to help me get the job done. There is not going to be a better place, I promise you, than Game Time Decisions to get that new information, react to it, and be able to then bet accordingly. We will have everything at our disposal, and we will use that to our advantage. I'm Kevin Walsh. Tune into Game Time Decisions from 6 to 8 p.m. Eastern on SportsGrid.
Will they both make it? Yes. But it has more to do with the fact of the three teams that are not really good at all in Dallas, Washington, and the Sparks, and an Atlanta Dream team without Ryan Howard that's spiraling out of control. If they can get those two teams, Indiana and Chicago, that's going to be a major boom for ratings.
Betting above the rim, only on SportsGrid.
It is Canada. Canada is one of those teams that's the darling of the tournament right now. They're still 9-1.
To win a tournament, or even to advance far into a tournament like this, you need a bit of good fortune. And it doesn't matter if you're getting the good fortune that Canada has, where they played two matches where they were up a man, or you had the good fortune of Argentina, who's one of the best teams in the world, who just got on the good side of the draw.
Newswire, only on SportsGrid.
My dude, Gino Bacola from the Daily Racing Forum with us to talk ponies. You can follow him on X at It's Me, Gino B, out in Lipstick City. We were just talking about Del Mar, and I got to tell you, surf and turf, there's nothing better. Like, I love Saratoga School. I think the spa's badass. I won't argue that it's a great spot and it's fun and you can party there. But there is nothing better than Del Mar. I don't care what it is. I mean, I have been to beer festivals at Santa Anita Park, cigar festival. I've been to every racetrack in the country. Del Mar is the best.
It is an absolute blast. Scott, very happy to be here with you again. Always excited to be talking some racing and sports with you. We have the 2 premier summer racing meets now that'll be rolling as of tomorrow on Saturday, with Del Mar opening up and with Saratoga currently rolling along right now. So I have best bets for you from coast to coast tomorrow. Saratoga, that's more of the historic track. So I'll give you one over there in race number 9. We're going to take a look at the number 9. This is a race that there's not a whole lot of early speed in here, Scott. And Todd Pletcher has 2 horses in here. He has Major Dude and Steady On. Both of them are the horses who have the most early speed. So he's not going to have his 2 horses battle each other. I think Steady On will go nicely from the outside, try to get the lead and slow things down. And then we go over to the party on the West Coast where the turf meets the surf. It's Del Mar. It's going to be opening day. Thousands of people out there drinking, having a blast. And in this race, I like the number 4, Guy Named Joe. This is race number 7. It's the Oceanside. This is the traditional opening day feature at Del Mar. And I think they're going to be flying early on. There's probably 6 or 7 horses in here who all want to go right to the lead. They're going to be lined up. They're going to be battling. Don't worry early, because our Guy Named Joe, he's going to be way out of it, Scott, but he's going to come rolling late. He's going to be flying, and we're going to get him up at 5-1. So those are our 2 best bets for Saturday playing the races. And remember, when you're getting prepped for the races, shop.drf.com. When you want to play the races, you go to DRF Bets. We're the one-stop shop for you. We'll give you the picks. We'll give you the analysis. You get the past performances, and you can make the wager all right there with DRF.
Hey, so, Gino, I was reading in the San Diego Trib today about, Baffert's juice at Del Mar, how he's the king of California. But it was a story about Kazushi Kimura, the great jockey that's running at Del Mar this summer. And this guy, 24 years old, he's already made $36 million on top of ponies. He means business. Tell me more about this guy.
Well, I've been very lucky because I covered the races at Woodbine last year daily, and he is one of the perennial top jocks in Woodbine, and Woodbine is in Canada. So a lot of the times you'll have the jockeys from up there, once they get really hot, they'll come down. He came down on the off season and was riding at Santa Anita, and he was riding a few horses for Bob Baffert. It's like anything, you get in with the right person, you win a race or 2, and now all of a sudden he has the opportunity to ride a lot of really, really good horses for Bob Baffert. So this is a top level jock, as you mentioned. Sky's the limit for him right now at just 24, 25 years old, with everything in front of him and a huge summer ahead of him. So I'm going to head down there next week. It's an atmosphere that you pointed out that is a ton of fun. And if you've never been down there, you have to go to Del Mar at least once and check it out, because you'll have a blast. You'll have some drinks. You'll put in a few bets, and you feel like you're at the beach at the racetrack.
You are at the beach.
Yeah,
at the racetrack.
You literally are.
And
it
you're
comes
eating
right
lobsters, and you're drinking martinis, and you're betting on ponies all day, and it is crystal clear blue skies and beautiful weather, and it smells good. It's so much fun. It literally smells good. All right, I got to ask you about some of your football futures. Gino getting involved with the pigskin with us on top of the horses.
We're all over the place. I know when we talk racing on here that most of the people that are watching, that are listening, they probably maybe tune out sometimes. So I got to give you some football, some basketball, some baseball stuff, so that way you can trust me, and then we can expand out to the races too. Once you trust my opinion with some football, with some other stuff. In this division, Atlanta is really overhyped right now. They are a heavy favorite to win this division, to win the NFC South. And keep in mind, we don't even know the health of Kirk Cousins yet. Their offensive line, I have some questions there. And defensively, they weren't able to create any turnovers or put any pressure on the quarterback last year. And then they went and drafted a backup QB.
So who do you
got another one. I like the Saints plus 350. They're the third choice actually in the division. I think Tampa regresses. Carolina, they're not there yet. So
and you got
Saints
the Raiders, and you got the Raiders over 7.5. Gino, you're the man. I got to run. Everybody knows the deal, right? Go to shop.drf.com and Daily Racing Form on YouTube. You're styling. Thanks, Gino.
Anytime.